Hey there guys, I am SonicGhost and welcome back to some more Let's Play Pikmin. Last time, we finished exploring the distant spring and got the remaining ship parts here, making a total of 29 of the 30 remaining parts collected for our good old dolphin. This means that we upgrade our ship's capabilities one more time to explore a brand new area. We can go ahead and make our way over to the final trial. And we're going to be making our way into the final trial after we go ahead and head back over to the Forest of Hope to talk about some things. So let's go ahead and head back to the Forest of Hope. So we're back here at the Forest of Hope for no specific reason, actually. There's nothing we need here in the Forest of Hope anymore, as we got ourselves all of the ship parts, but you may have noticed that our day count jumped from 12 all the way up to 30. This is the final day that Olimar can spend here on this planet. After today, his life support system will no longer have enough air in his suit. Thus, Olimar is unable to stay on this planet any longer. So, you may be wondering, if you never got all of the ship parts that you need at this point, what happens once you're out of time here on this said planet and you don't have every single ship part here in the game? The day when my life support system fails has come. I've collected only 29 of 30 ship parts. I have no choice but to attempt to launch a dolphin into space, incomplete as it is. The ship doesn't need every lost part in order to fly. For better or worse, I must go. So, with Olimar not having all of the ship parts he needs, Olimar will attempt to leave, and at this point, since we have 29 of the 30 parts, we will be able to leave the planet and get ourselves the good ending, which will trigger the credits and even the ending screen. So, this is one way you can beat Pikmin. You don't have to get every single ship part to beat the game, but you do need to get a majority of them. So now that we got ourselves the neutral ending, we can now go and get a different ending of the game as well. But this one is not going to be as satisfactory for Olimar. Needless to say, day 30 arrives, and we only got ourselves a handful of Pikmin. This right now is what would have happened if Olimar didn't know what he was doing after he got himself the engine all the way back in the first day. So at this point, Olimar only has a handful of Pikmin. He struggled to find parts here on the planet. And back here at the impact site, he doesn't even know what to do against the Mamuta. I mean, at this point, I don't know if I can use Pikmin for this or not. I'm still learning here. So try to fight this thing myself and just get destroyed in the process. This is one thing to note about Pikmin. If Olimar runs out of health, your day will instantly end. No matter if you're in the middle of something or not, this would be how your day ends. The damage to my spacesuit is approaching its limits. The safest course of action would be to return to the dolphin at once and repair my suit. To do so, I need only to stand in front of the dolphin and press A. If only repairing my ship was as simple as pressing a single button. Yeah, we say that, and we're just gonna get completely destroyed by this Mamuda because we just can't get free. And that ends Olimar's adventure, as this is the end of day 30, the final day we were able to spend here on the planet. So if Olimar doesn't have all the ship parts, he will be unable to escape this planet. And unfortunately, without his air supply, Olimar is trapped here without any means of survival. This is the bad ending of Pikmin. If Olimar can't survive now without any kind of oxygen supply and he can't leave this planet, what happens to Olimar now that he's stuck here forever? Well, you know what they say. If you can't leave, join them. So, now that we talked about what happens if you don't get all the remaining ship parts here in Pikmin, let's make our way over to our final trial and collect the remaining ship part that we have left for our dolphin. This has been a long journey, but it's time for things to come to an end. Let's land into our final trial. So immediately, once we touch ground here, we're gonna immediately want to get ourselves some Pikmin. There is only one ship part here, but there is some work to do to get that one ship part. For starters here, we're gonna pull out 3 yellow Pikmin, and notice here, next to our ship, we got 3 different Candy Pop Buds. So if you need any of the 3 Pikmin type, you have Candy Pop Buds here to help convert those said Pikmin to different colors. But we have more than enough Pikmin at this point. We don't need to worry about those Candy Pop Buds. Now we're gonna take out all of our blue Pikmin that we can, so a total of 97. I'm gonna take my 3 yellow Pikmin and throw them across the gap here while waiting for all my blues to come out of the onion, because we got some work to do with some bridges that only the blues can access. So immediately, I'm gonna put a decent chunk of my blues to work here on this one bridge, and the remaining set, I'm gonna have to work on this bridge on the other side of the stone wall. Now, I could have actually waited on this one once I take care of this said stone wall with some bomb rocks, but it's best to split the work, I think at this point, 50-50. That way both bridges can have an equal amount of work done, and hopefully be done around the same time. I wanna throw our 3 yellows that we brought with us here up to this ledge to grab some bomb rocks. With these bombs, we'll be blowing up that stone wall that's right next to these said bridges. We're gonna need to do that in order to make progression here. So, I'm gonna throw my 3 bomb rock Pikmin over the ledge. 2 of them are gonna not drop their bombs, which is perfectly fine, but 1 will. So, we'll go ahead, take the remaining set of bombs and blow up the remaining portion here of this wall. And now we'll just put our yellows to work on the other portion of the bridge. It looks like our blue Pikmin here are almost done actually with this said bridge here near what looks like a cardboard box. You can also see a lot of fire here over on our right, so we're definitely going to need some red Pikmin for that. So now these blue Pikmin are done with one portion of the bridge. We're just going to go ahead and see if our other set needs some help, and sure enough, put them to work here on this bridge, and they are done. So what we need to do at this point is we need to get ourselves some red Pikmin. So let's take back all of our blues, because at this point we don't need blue Pikmin for anything else. So I'm going to deposit every single last one of my blue Pikmin, and now we're going to get out a whole bunch of reds. While I'm waiting for my blue Pikmin to go back into the onion, I'm going to wait until I have enough put away so I can take out more yellows. In this case, I'm going to take out 15 yellow Pikmin. I recommend bringing about 15, maybe 20 yellow Pikmin with you to this next section. So in this case, I'm just going to take out 15. Now let's go ahead and take out the remaining set of Pikmin here to be red Pikmin. Gonna wait for all these guys to jump out of the onion, and then we're gonna start making our way over to these fire geysers onto our left here. So I'm gonna wait for all you guys to come out, and now I'm gonna separate them into a group of 10. So put those 10 guys there and take the others. And at this point, we're gonna just separate them out right in front of the bridge. Let's take our red Pikmin and throw them up above here onto this ledge, an area that we can't really get to ourselves, but this is perfectly fine because our Pikmin can walk around the edge here until we can get over to where this box is. And by doing so, just dismiss the Pikmin right in front of the box, and now they will push that said box over. I do recommend having the bridge built though, because if the bridge is not built at this point, the Pikmin can easily fall into the water trying to push that box forward. So not as ideal without the said bridge done. Let's go ahead and cross over the bridge, keeping our Pikmin in a nice group. That way they don't go swimming. We don't need our Pikmin to go into the drink right now. That would be a very bad thing. Let's get our Pikmin immediately to work here onto this wall, but only the red Pikmin, as we don't really need the yellow Pikmin to be working on this said wall right now. We'll just take the remaining set that are not close enough and put them onto that said wall. Now with those Pikmin to work, I'm gonna throw all my yellow Pikmin up onto this ledge with some bomb rocks, because up here, we're gonna need to get ourselves some bombs. So arm yourself up, yellows. We're gonna need as many bombs as we can get. Looks like they all found a bomb rock, which is perfect, so come on out. And at this point in time, I'm gonna separate my Pikmin here and walk forward to what looks like a thing of moss in the center here of this arena. And it's not moss. This is our final boss of Pikmin. This is Emperor Bulblax. This is a big Bulborb that is very, very deadly, and the only way to attack him is to stun him with a bomb rock. You want to throw a bomb rock towards his mouth, and when he opens it up, he will try to swallow whatever's in front of him. Make sure you throw a bomb rock at him specifically, as that will stun Emperor Bulblax, allowing you to throw Pikmin into its mouth. I recommend hiding behind a wall here, simply just because Emperor Bulblax cannot leave his arena. This makes the fight a lot safer. But if you can, you want to space out your yellow Pikmin throw in such a way where he can throw the bomb rock instead of being eaten by Emperor Bulblax. Not the easiest thing to do, and most times, you're actually going to have the yellow Pikmin sacrifice itself instead of stunning Emperor Bulblax with his tongue. It's a really risky thing to do, but at the same time, we do need to actually stun this guy in some fashion, so I want to throw out a bomb rock here as close as possible to make sure my Pikmin doesn't miss, and try to aim for his feet, which can also happen. But at this point, when he's stunned, throw your Pikmin at this guy, and I would recommend coming in this fight with red Pikmin specifically to do damage, as red Pikmin are going to do the most damage here to Emperor Bulblax. Here I need to wait until this guy is getting ready to open his mouth. I'm going to throw a yellow Pikmin nowhere near him this time. Interesting. It looked like it could have been close enough to maybe do something. Let me throw the Pikmin here in front, and it looked like he actually got the bomb into Emperor Bulblax's mouth, giving us more than enough time to attack this guy because he slapped himself with his tongue, meaning that Emperor Bulblax is going to be stunned for even longer, then you get even more hits out. This is a really good fight so far. As you can see, his health now is half, which means at this point the fight is going to start getting a lot more aggressive. We're going to be very careful here. Fortunately, we're going to be sacrificing another yellow, but this is perfectly fine. This is why we came into the fight with at least 15 yellow Pikmin. You might want to come in here with more yellow Pikmin than what I did, because you're going to need a lot of these guys, especially if you're going to be sacrificing some to Emperor Bulblax just to stun him. This fight, honestly, is really, really difficult, and there's no easy way around losing your Pikmin in this fight. It is just bound to happen, especially when Emperor Bulblax is almost dead, because when he's down to red health, Emperor Bulblax will start jumping around the arena trying to crush you and your Pikmin. It is a really dangerous thing, so you want to keep your distance. But here, we sacrifice yet another Pikmin, so we're going to throw our Pikmin at Emperor Bulblax. Somehow, a group of them died. Don't know how that happened. I'm going to assume the bomb rock might have blew up near the Pikmin at that point. Bomb rocks are very dangerous, even after an enemy eats something with a bomb rock. It's definitely kind of a weird, confusing thing. Welcome to Pikmin. Gonna stay back this time to make sure no one gets killed by a random explosion. Throw our reds at Emperor Bulblax here. At this point, this is more than enough to defeat him, giving us our final ship part. At long last, I found the final part, my secret safe. And it's as full as ever. How glad I am that I persisted in my search without losing hope. Now I can leave this planet without any regrets. Maybe I'll even stop and pick up some souvenirs for my wife and kids back on planet Hakatate. Now with our final ship part available, we can end our journey here on this planet. When you defeat Emperor Bulblax, he does drop a bunch of pellets, and if you're running low here in this said boss fight, there are more bomb rocks all throughout the arena in multiple cans, so you should have more than enough bomb rocks to take out Emperor Bulblax here. But if you don't, well, you can always come back a different day. Now let's get these pellets back, get a last little bit of Pikmin grown here before we leave this said planet. Try to see if we can separate out the Pikmin in such a way. Won't be able to really do too much there with the yellow pellet, but this is perfectly fine. And put the remaining Pikmin we have onto our piggy bank, bringing it home. So at this point, we have everything we need. Now I'm going to want to make my way back to the ship as fast as possible so I can take out some Pikmin. I don't want to be plucking these guys as much as I want to grow more Pikmin just to see my tallies go up at the end. I don't want to be plucking these guys. That's a little too much work for the end. And at this point, I don't need these bomb rocks anymore, so I'm going to deposit the Pikmin just to call them back, and now we'll take out the remaining set here as yellow Pikmin. This way we can bring that yellow pellet back. This will be perfect. You need 40 Pikmin in total to bring back your secret safe. Once you have at least 40 on the safe, it'll start moving, but that safe can take just about every single one of your Pikmin in order to carry it back, which is actually pretty neat if you want to get it back really fast. It's the only part here in Pikmin that you can put multiple Pikmin on way past its limit. I think I might have called too many Pikmin off of that. And in fact, yeah, it definitely just kind of confused things. This can just happen. This is fine. Just get to work on the piggy bank. I'm not going to swarm Pikmin on the bridge. That might as well be a death sentence around water. I don't trust it. Now I trust it. Get to work on that piggy bank. Question is, what's going to get back first at this rate? The pellet or me money? I want to make sure it's the pellet at this point, because after this piggy bank is taken back, that will be the end of our adventure here in Pikmin. There we go. Our final ship part has been collected, marking the end to our journey. I have finally covered every ship part. Now I can return home to Hakatate. At the end of your journey through Pikmin, you will get yourself a final analytics, seeing how well you did in your multiple days worth of adventure here on the planet. We can see how many days it took for us out of the 30 days in total we had, how many Pikmin we had survive at the very end of our adventure, how many Pikmin we lost in total, and how many Pikmin we sprouted in total compared to all of the different days here on the planet. So, I wanted to go ahead at this point and talk about a bunch of different analytics here for all the different runs that I've done over the years of Pikmin. As I'm playing the Nintendo Switch release here, this is my first time beating this version of the game, meaning I don't really have any other analytics here to share in this copy of Pikmin. But I do have analytics of other versions of Pikmin to share with you guys. So, I've played this game multiple times over the years here on YouTube in some fashion. Whether it be a handful of playthroughs I've done in the very early days of this YouTube channel, along with a playthrough over on the collab channel I'm a part of, the LPR League. And I have some stats to share between all 4 of the different Pikmin runs I've done over the years here on the internet. So, for the parts and days, on my first and second Let's Play of Pikmin, I was able to beat this game in 12 days. So this is something I'm accustomed to at this point. I can beat the game comfortably around 12 days. But the LPR League playthrough, on the other hand, I was able to beat in 11 days. I did things a little bit faster for my collab channel. Now for surviving Pikmin, this is where things get interesting, as I had 535 Pikmin survive for my very first playthrough of Pikmin 1. My second playthrough here on my channel, I had 688 Pikmin live. And for the LPR League's playthrough, I had 970. So this playthrough you watched had the most Pikmin survive by a huge margin. It's all because of multiple runbacks to the impact site. The impact site does a great job at growing Pikmin. Total Pikmin lost my first playthrough was 238, the most I would lose at this point playing Pikmin. The second time I played this game on my YouTube channel, I lost 170, so almost 100 less compared to the first Let's Play I did. For the LPR League, I didn't even lose 100. It was just shy at 94 Pikmin lost. So the LPR League playthrough that I did was the one with the least amount of Pikmin ever lost. And probably the record of Pikmin in general that I've lost. I've never gotten anything lower than 94. And in total, the total Pikmin sprouted between all of the different playthroughs is a total of 4,137. That's a lot of Pikmin. And that is just over the years of playing this between multiple releases of Pikmin 1. I played this game a lot, and I definitely know how to micromanage things, and try to keep as many Pikmin alive as possible while being able to grow as many as possible too. At the end of your said time here on the planet, you can see how many ship parts that you collected to leave. All the ship parts marked in yellow are required to beat Pikmin. The 5 blue parts, Nova Blaster, Space Float, Massage Machine, UV Lamp, and Secret Safe, are all optional ship parts that you would only need to collect if you're going for the best ending. But everything else, as long as you get the other 25 parts, you'll be able to leave the planet and get yourself the normal ending, where Omar leaves the planet and makes it home safely to Hoctate. Well, that is it. That is everything in Pikmin. So at this point, we can go ahead and save our adventure. And now with all those analytics and our total tally of the ship parts, we have now concluded our adventure through Pikmin 1. Now, this playthrough, this was an interesting one for me to do because this is technically my 3rd time playing Pikmin 1 here on this specific channel. And a lot of people may be confused by that. Like, wait, 3rd? Wait, I only see Pikmin listed once here via your playlists. How's this number 3? I think it would be number 2 based on that logic. When I first started making Let's Play videos all the way back in the beginning of 2011, I did a Let's Play of Pikmin alongside of my Majora's Mask Let's Play. And at the time, I didn't really care for how that playthrough turned out. I thought the quality of the commentary could have been a lot better because there was plenty of times I wasn't really talking all that much, and when I did, it was just kind of pointing out what I was doing. Because at this time, this was my 2nd ever Let's Play. Pikmin is a game that you need to fully understand how to micromanage if you want to play the game while also trying to commentate at the same time, which is something I had a problem doing back then. So I took the playthrough down and re-recorded later that same year. And coming back a few months later, trying again once I had a couple other playthroughs under my belt, I felt a lot more confident in that said recording, and that was the Pikmin playthrough I was proud to publish back then. But things have changed over the years. I mean, for one, we have a whole new version of the game to play now via the Nintendo Switch release, and just in general, I feel like I've evolved a lot as a player, understanding a lot more about the game and knowing what exactly to do with this situation or how to micromanage like these specific parts or these specific tasks. I've grown a lot over the past 10 plus years, so I feel confident coming back to this game many years later and giving this another revisit, which I'm glad to have done because this is a playthrough I'm very proud of. But if you do manage to get yourself the best ending here in Pikmin and collect all of the 30 ship parts here for the Dolphin, you get yourself an enemy reel here after the credits are completed. You don't get this enemy reel if you get the neutral ending or the bad ending. You only get this for the good ending. So if you're curious what these creatures are called, the game does actually tell you every single one of their names. Now, this is a remastered version of the enemy call list, because in the original GameCube release and even the Nintendo Wii release of Pikmin, the said areas that were shown for this enemy call were actually areas from an earlier build of Pikmin. You can see enemies in areas they were never in for the final release, and even some of the areas themselves look different compared to the final product. But the Nintendo Switch version actually remasters this enemy reel said video at the very end of Pikmin, so they actually record a lot of new clips here and actually get the enemies in their correct spots. And there's no beta footage here this time around, sadly. But you do have a nice little border surrounding the enemy call list, with Pikmin just walking around and interacting with the border itself. It's a cute little way of ending your adventure here in Pikmin. And I hope everyone at home enjoyed watching this set playthrough. At this point, This said playthrough of Pikmin now marks the 3rd time I have played it here on my YouTube channel, even though maybe only the 2nd one you can find, since I no longer have the original playthrough of Pikmin 1 listed on this channel, nor do I even have the videos anymore. That playthrough was just so rough around the edges back in the day, I didn't even want to keep it for myself. That's saying a lot. But I played this game a lot over the years, and I'm glad to come back to it once more and get to look at this game with new eyes, especially now after having more Pikmin games under my belt. When I first played this game on my YouTube channel all the way back in 2011, at that time I've only played Pikmin 1. I have not played any of the other Pikmin games at that point. I mean, to be fair, 2011, we only had 2 games released at the time, Pikmin 1 and Pikmin 2. And at that time, here in North America, we only had Pikmin 1 re-released on the Nintendo Wii. It wasn't until 2012 that we got the new Play Control release of Pikmin 2 finally released on the Nintendo Wii. So it took a couple years at that point until I played more Pikmin games, and now I have played and beaten every single game in the Pikmin franchise, and I'm very familiar with the Pikmin franchise as a whole now because of that. And I feel a lot more confident as a player playing these kinds of games. So hopefully this time around we had a much better showing and actually were able to talk about how you do certain strategies in better detail. And a big thing that really helps is that the Nintendo Switch release here of Pikmin uses motion control just like the Wii release, so there are certain things we can do in this version just like in the Wii version that are made much easier due to the motion control. So if you're going to play a version of Pikmin nowadays, I recommend people either picking up the new Play Control release on the Nintendo Wii or the Nintendo Switch version. Honestly, just playing the Nintendo Switch version specifically as this release, you'll just be easily able to get on a more modern system, and you're able to play it portably as well. Not to mention, it also comes with Pikmin 2. You get 2 games in one package, so you're best off getting the game nowadays on the Nintendo Switch. Not to say the other versions are bad or anything, quite the opposite. The GameCube version still holds up quite well, and the Wii version especially is still a really solid way of playing this game. It is my preferred way of still playing the Pikmin franchise as a whole, is using the Wii Remote and Nunchuck controls for Pikmin's 1, 2, and even 3 in a lot of ways. It's just the most comfortable way, in my opinion, of playing these games. It feels like the Wii Remote was made for Pikmin, so playing these games on that control scheme just feels right to me. But at the same time, no matter what version of Pikmin you play, this is a solid game from start to finish. And again, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this playthrough at home and enjoyed the ride going back through Pikmin one more time. Hopefully we won't have a need to come back to this game again in the future, unless there's another re-release, maybe a remastering that adds more content. But that concludes our time with Pikmin. We got ourselves the happy end for getting the best ending, compared to getting the end for just getting at least 25 of the required ship parts. But that will do it. Thank you guys for watching this playthrough. I hope you enjoyed this series. And with that said, I'll see you guys next time.